the Bible talks about, and not to make this whole spiritual, you get me to preaching up in here, right? So the Bible talks about if you're in Christ, you're a new creation, right? And so if you're in a new creation, the old things have passed, behold the new, okay? And if you are a new creation in Christ and you are adopting, well, the word really isn't adopting, but displaying the fruits of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, long suffering, right? All these, the fruits of the Spirit, there is a transformation in that person that says, I was walking this way, but now I'm walking this way, right? And that's the repentance of the sins, to say, I was once this, but I found Christ, or whatever your religion for me is Christianity. Now I'm walking this way. And there are certain things that I'm going to not do that I did, that I struggled with, that I'm not going to do anymore, or I'm going to, as Philip Anthony Mitchell says, aggressively deal with that sin that's in your life, to say, now, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. And if you walked away from hip hop, because, not saying that Malice did, because he thought hip hop was bad and hip hop was evil and hip hop was of the devil, how does it look now that you're trying to come back into the house of the devil? Man, be rocking the Nirvana today.
Right, man.
When I was growing up, I was a huge rock and roll.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'm talking about Nirvana, Megadeth, Guns N' Roses.
Megadeth.
Man.
I went to a Megadeth concert.
Black Sabbath.
I think their last concert in Atlanta I went to.
Oh, really?
Megadeth. It's about maybe 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago.
Yeah, I used to be as a teenager, I was into rock and roll, which was, I don't even know how I got into it. Probably
Megadeth.
Yeah, I think it was the friends that I was hanging around with, because I was in Germany at the time when I really got into groups like Nirvana, Guns N' Roses. Mm-hmm. I mean, I listened to them, Queen, I listened to stuff in the past, but I didn't really get into like stuff like Black Sabbath and all that stuff until I got to Germany, which was like a freshman in high school.
Okay.
And that's when I really got into that side. I think everybody kind of goes through a rock and roll phase at some point.
Think so? Think everybody does?
I think so. I think most people go through probably. I think they go through like a rock phase. I went through a classical phase, hip hop, R&B, of course, and then rock.
I was trying to see if I could find my any footage from Megadeth concert on my phone.
Yeah, Megadeth was...
Cause I got everything on this phone from over the years, but I can't find it.
How do you keep... How's your storage, though?
I got a gazillion.
You must got...
I pay for all them terabytes, man. I think it's a scam, but I pay for all that storage.
The cloud storage?
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. It better be in here, like all the...
Like, I got buku cloud storage.
I got about 20,000 pics on here on my phone.
I had to delete a whole bunch of them.
But yeah, I just
run out of space.
And that's the thing I was mad about. How can I run out of space when I pay y'all all this money for all this storage? That's what I was always confused about. But that's weird, because I've been to a lot of concerts. It was at the Tabernacle. I saw them perform at the Tabernacle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw
Megadeth.
A lot of good concerts at the Tabernacle. I'm trying to see. I use whenever it's a little hack, trying to find pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't remember exactly when, as far as the date. What I do is I look at the map. And I go on the map.
Yeah.
And I find out, I go on the location. So I'm trying to find where the downtown, where the Tabernacle is on my phone, but I see it, but I don't see none of my pictures. I'd have been at 2 Kendrick Lamar shows at the Tabernacle when before he got in the stadiums.
Before he got in the stadiums?
Before he blew up.
Right.
He used to come to the Tabernacle and play. I seen him a couple times there. I saw Dave Chappelle there at the Tabernacle. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why the Tabernacle? Mm-hmm. Whatever, I can't find a job, but hey, I saw Megadeth there at the Tabernacle.
Oh yeah, Megadeth. Hey,
took my son there.
Right.
He's a big Megadeth, or he was a big Megadeth fan.
Yeah, I was real into like rock. That was I'm talking about like rock. I'm talking about like mosh pit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he was deep into it.
Deep into it, bro. Like I never went like goth and had like black eyes and black jeans with the rip stuff and the black, But some of my favorite songs are actually rock songs. And of course, Smells Like Teen Spirit
that's the one right there.
Is classic.
That's the one.
Classic Nirvana. Classic. Like that if we talk about how, we have in hip hop, we have classics, that's a classic rock song right there.
Yeah.
100%.
And I never went through no rock phase, nothing like that, like you said, but I just remember that was my joint though. When that video, that would come on back on the box. The box.
Yeah.
Me and my boy, we used to go into the his den and just throw shit. Just throw everything when that came on. Only when the chorus came on though. When
because nothing else. Yeah, I mean, because the lyrics already is hard to distinguish what he's really saying.
Yeah. I don't know what he's saying at all. I don't even
know
what he's saying. I don't even know what he's saying in the chorus. I just know
entertain us, acting stupid.
He's just throwing stuff around.
Entertain us. Here we are now. He's talking about some it's a libido, it's a Guido. I don't know if he's saying it's Guido, but but that was the thing. It took a while to even understand what he was saying. One of my favorite, bro. I don't know why they hate on the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, but to me, it's still the best Spider-Man that was made. Tobey Maguire joint, but the song with Chad Kroger and Josie Scott.
Yeah,
I'm so high, I can hear it. Boy, they killed that song. Boy, that was a rock song, and Josie Scott and Chad Kroger, they killed that song. That's one of my favorite songs too. But anyway, y'all, welcome to the Indie Unplug, of course. We can get into the whole thing. How you week been, man?
It's been pretty good, man.
Pretty good?
I'm blessed I'm alive to be here.
Man, me too.
Working hard. Hustling. Trying to get to
every day I'm hustling.
Getting to the destination. You set a goal, man. You just work hard to get there. And I'm in that phase where I'm just going after goals. Another week, man.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta enjoy the journey though, because
you got to.
Life is short, and these weeks go by fast. Life goes by fast.
Yeah.
Even though you're making goals and stuff, don't forget to enjoy, because, number one, tomorrow's not promised. And
that's right.
And number two, you reach the goal, but if you didn't enjoy getting there, it's like, okay, you got your goal now, but it's like, now what you gonna do?
Yeah.
So you got to be, because a lot of times people reach these goals and they're not fulfilled when they finally get there.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't learn how to enjoy the journey anyway.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't enjoy every day when you get there, you think some kind of magical switch gonna click and you're gonna be happy now.
Yeah, it don't work that way.
Happiness comes from within, first of all. It comes from within, and you got to learn how to enjoy every step of the way.
Yeah, because I don't think any amount of money, any amount of possessions,
new accomplishment,
it can equate to having real, without getting too biblical, you know what I'm saying? Without having real joy, you know what I mean? Like, but enjoy, you got to enjoy the goal. You got to enjoy, the journey to the goal. There's nothing, trying to work towards something and it just feels like a chore, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do things that I love to do and that I enjoy doing. So you got to find the blessings in the moment, the joy in the moment. And so, not without getting into the whole, faith and all that stuff, but there's something we all go by.
Blessings,
blessings. And that we going to get into. But now my week has been, man, it's been tough because we've just been working. I mean, people know, like, we still got day jobs, you know what I'm saying, that we do, which is why we still do the podcast. We still work our regular day jobs. We work a hard day, and then we come here and we like, but I'm ready to be here. I'm ready to go, ready to talk about these things that all of you independents are going to need in order to take yourself to whatever level that may be for you. But man, let's get into the topics tonight, brother. Talking about faith, spirituality, and contradiction in hip hop. Let's talk about what is that? Faith, spirituality, contradiction in hip hop. So I did listen to it. I heard it today. Okay. I was like, I'm gonna make sure I listen to this album because I don't want to do the podcast. And Brian asked me, "Have you heard it?" And I'm gonna be like, "Nah, I haven't heard it." I'm like, "Oh, you should." So I listened to the whole thing before we did the pod tonight. But anyway, y'all should know, Clips came out with a new album. They returned with their critically acclaimed album, "Let God Sort 'Em Out." has reignited conversation about the complex relationship between faith and hip hop. Of course, Malice, who was once part of the Clips, left the group to pursue his Christian faith. Now he returns as No Malice along with his brother Pusha T.
No. He's back Malice.
Oh, he's back Malice. He's not No Malice no more.
That's what I'm talking about. Like he's full back.
So we'll talk about that because I was wondering about the whole cursing in the.
He's cussing.
He is cursing. I was like,
he's not overly cussing, but he's cussing on it.
But he's cussing. So I want to talk about that, right? So let's talk about that, right? Along with Pusha T, without abandoning his beliefs, this raises deeper questions. Can artists authentically express spirituality while still engaging in explicit or street-centered content? We'll talk about Malice, Mace, Freeway. Are they contradicting themselves from their belief perspective to what they say in their music? And I thought that was a great topic because, one, I didn't know that he returned as Malice. I thought he was still being No Malice and was, because I was wondering like.
And just to kind of set the table, y'all.
Let's set the
table. Like you got to go back to Mace, and Mace had a book, which I got my cousin to get him to sign, but I got a signed copy of my Mace book. But the book was, to me, was really powerful because he explained how he totally walked away from hip hop and rapping and all. He didn't want to do gospel rap. He thought rap was of the devil, and he walked away. And he described in the book of being with Diddy, with Puff and Clive Davis's office, and they were trying to pressure him to like still do music. Like, okay, well, you can still love God and all this. And how he knew in his heart he had to leave. And he was in the bathroom just praying like, how do I get out of this? Because they're pressuring me, but I don't want to do this. I thought that was real powerful.
Yeah.
Fast forward years later, he comes back with the Welcome Back song, with the Mace and the Breathe, Stretch, Shake, and all that stuff. And, he's kind of been teetering since then. I don't know, I think he still preaches, but he does the podcast with Cameron. It is what it is. And they talk about some wild stuff on there. I don't think Mace ever cusses. Every now and then he'll jump in and give a word, from God, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so that's that. Then you got artists like in the Muslim faith, you got Loon. Loon was real popular. It's funny because they were saying that years ago, they were saying that Diddy's making everybody turn to religion, or either go to jail for life or turn to religion. Because Shine came out and was Jewish and all this stuff. So but Loon, he got arrested and was in jail, I think, overseas for many, many years. He got out. He's like Muslim, and he refuses to rap, at all. He's taking that stance that Mace took. Then you got guys like, I think, Napoleon from the Outlaws. Again, he's total Muslim. I'm not rapping. I can't. It's a contradiction. My faith is holy, and I can't do it. Then you got rappers like Freeway, who's very much Muslim, very much upfront about his faith, still rapping, hardcore hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So I compare it to that. Of course, you got different religions, but it's still the same in terms of holiness and righteousness versus what I talk about in my music. And it begs the question, like, is this like money? Like what if you were totally against hip hop? Why are you still doing it? And I'm not saying they can't do it. I'm just, I'm just, because here's the thing. A lot of us, especially in the independent space, especially to be independent, you got to believe in God. You got to pray because it ain't easy out here. So a lot of us are still in the church, still into our faith, real big. And how do we reconcile that with being artists that may be explicit, or even taking a step further, even being behind the scenes? You're an engineer, you're a producer. So many producers produce for God knows who, and they stand behind the fact, well, this is just work for me. I'm a true believer. I believe in Jesus Christ. I'm a Christian and born again, filled with the Holy Spirit. You can do whatever you want to with this track because it's just work for me. I'm just working. Not to mention the potential effects this music is going to have on the community and the world. Hey, it's just work.
Right.
I don't know what the executive at Coca-Cola is doing when I work for, or the executive for Delta Airlines, what they're doing with the money, I'm just here to work and do it honestly. Sort of how we talked about last week in terms of what I signed or deal with Revolt and with Diddy. Same concept, but the whole Clips thing and Malice just got me to thinking because, you know, when you walk away from that, your money's gonna drop.
Yeah.
Your money's gonna drop. And it's just real convenient that after all these years of like having to depend on God for every dollar, now it's like you got an epiphany and you want to rap again. Go on tour again and make all this money again. And again, I'm not taking a stance. It's just things to think about.
Yeah, it's very interesting how we have religion intertwined into hip hop. I mean, when you think about the origins of hip hop, a lot of the rappers in New York were either Muslim, 5%ers, right? So they already had a integration of that religion into hip hop from the very beginning. I mean, you got rappers talking about bless the Quran, talking about being a 5%er. I mean, I remember listening to Busta Rhymes songs, and he's talking about, whether it's Busta Rhymes or whether it's a Tribe Called Quest or Wu-Tang, or you hear the religion in the songs, but it doesn't. And that's always the conundrum is, and especially from because the only faith that I have for me is Christendom, right? So how does that play out for me as a believer in and what my beliefs are and what I believe the Bible says, and if because I produce, right? And if I'm a producer and I'm working with
NBA Youngboy,
NBA Youngboy, right? How does that,
the leader of the YNs,
right? How does my faith and what I believe in now intersect with the music that I'm producing and the message that NBA Youngboy, whoever the artist is putting out? I was looking up because one of my favorite rappers, y'all may or may not, y'all probably don't know. I was trying not to fan out when I met him, right? And it's so weird because I got homies who know this dude personally, and it's like, but I know them and they producers and artists, but I don't fan out when I'm around them. When I met this dude, I was like, yo, what's good? His name is The Truth, right? And so when I first met man, if you ever see this, right? I was trying not to, but he's one of my favorite rappers. He's one of my favorite period rappers.
I booked him for a show.
Yeah.
About 15, 16 years ago. Right at his height.
At his height. That's right. So I looked up the lyrics to Open Book, actually my favorite album from The Truth. And he has a song they call Price Tag. That's what I went to go look up. All right. And so in verse 3, I should know about heart because I pretty much know this verse by heart. He said, I know some dudes that are Christian that produce for the wicked. And I know some musicians that use their gift in the church. But the same musicians that use their gift in the church produce and play for the wicked, but they call it work. And they try to justify and say it's just a job. It's the customized line that they use to compromise. Just adjust the knob on your radio. Here we go. Another song I ain't produced. It's producing lust and lies. It's another side to the coin. And I know and you know where I'm going. This is bigger than trying to stay employed. And I'm so convinced that there's more, because if these same producers were writers, they wouldn't write for Playboy, right? He's like Manny goes in this whole thing. He said, I know I sound kind of stern, but if I major in communications, they wouldn't work for Howard Stern. It's like, so how do you separate, right? So that's the whole third verse, right? I know they're more concerned about the dollars earned than they are God's glory. I ain't talking out of turn. So he goes to his whole third verse talking about that. So how do you, and it's so crazy that we're talking about it, and I'm wearing a Flavor Fest shirt, right? I just grabbed it out of the closet today, which Flavor Fest was like the very first Christian hip hop like festival that they had in Florida. I would go there all the time to Flavor Fest every year. And that's where I first met Ambassador and True Life and all the cross movement and all the Christian Lecrae, Sho Baraka, Tadashi, Trip Lee. I mean, you name it, like, because we all were in that, K-drama, we were all in that space together. And we knew all the same people. But it's very interesting how, because a lot of them were raised on the theology of cross movement, right? And so cross movement was like, we don't do stuff with secular people. That's a no, right? And because they was like, we need to separate ourselves from that music to show that we are believers in Christ based upon those attributes that are listed in the Bible, right? But that's very interesting because I read this book called Music Through the Eyes of Faith, and it talks about all this in the book. If you haven't read it, it's and you're struggling with, I'm a Christian, and do I produce for secular music? That's a great book right there, because it talks about not compromising your faith, but still understanding the beauty of music and the freedom of music, which allows you to work with and create music for whoever the artist may be. But this kind of talks about what we talked about last week. It's like, how do I, as a believer, if I have morals in some way, not whether they're high morals, whatever, but if I have like some type of morality, do I work with that artist who are saying these weird things and crazy things? But that's surprising. I didn't know he came back as Malice, because I was listening to him like, I want to see if he's cursing. Oh yeah, he's not being real flagrant.
Yeah, he's not really. He doesn't cuss a whole lot.
He doesn't cuss a whole lot.
Not like Pusha T.
Not like Pusha T, right? Not like Pusha T. But he was.
But I will say this though, man. Like, I don't necessarily have a stance on it, other than the fact that I live and let live, man. I'm kind of an observer, of all this, and I do think people should have a line. We always talk about you should have a line for yourself, and don't compromise that line.
Don't compromise that line.
Like, figure out what your line is. All this flip-flopping, that's kind of wishy-washy. But people do evolve and change, especially when it comes to matters of your faith. And as you get older, you a lot of times when we get into a new faith, not even just faith, but anything in life, we get a new diet plan. We learn keto or veganism. Anything you learn, you go gun-ho, and then you kind of tame after a while. You know what? I was tripping. Let me dial it back a little bit.
Dial it back some.
You know what I'm saying? That happens with the new believers all the time.
Yeah.
They crazy at first.
Because I was crazy.
They call it radical.
I was crazy radical. You going to hell? Yeah, believe in Jesus today, or you going? Oh yeah, I was mad radical.
And then kind of but I do think we gotta live and let live though, because a lot of these same people that you're talking about, they had their own scandals.
They did.
You know what I'm saying?
I know. It's so crazy.
They had their own scandals, and it's like, that's why you gotta like chill.
The trust, like, I ain't trying to put their business out.
No, if you know, you know. If you know, you know.
But if you know, you know.
So like,
I remember many conversations. We call each other like, yo.
But not just that though. Not just that. Like, people we know,
Yes.
I would say like, stuff. It's a lot of stuff we don't know.
True.
That
True.
only.
That's true.
The people that know. A lot of these faith-based folks are. That's why I love that show, The Righteous Gemstones. I think it's so true to reality on HBO.
Haven't seen it.
Oh, it's a great show. It's comedy, but you wouldn't believe how like accurate some of that stuff is. Like, I'm just telling you, somebody who was deep into the church world for a long time. That stuff is accurate. So you gotta just kind of be careful. And I don't want to make this whole religious topic, but I just do. I do like want to explore like people who like rap and have faith. Like, is it okay to mature and grow, or is it being a hypocrite? If you drew a line and say, you know what, I'm not doing music no more because it's of the devil, you should stick with it. Okay.
No. Say what you're gonna say.
And I do kind of respect a little bit like that whole cross movement theology, is the whole attitude. Like, no, we ain't doing that. I kind of respect it because, like, to me, it's always just seems a little weak when you got these Christian artists trying to please the secular artists and try to like get in.
Yeah, because I ain't going it because
you're trying to rub elbows and be cool.
Yeah,
it's like,
because I can speak about a couple.
It's like, how can you positively affect them if you're trying to be like them?
And that's for me.
If you want
validation
from, they should be trying to get validation from you.
That's
They
right.
should be trying to like.
That's right.
They should be trying to get on your song.
That's right.
And trying to like.
That's right.
Instead of you, because it's looking real weak.
That's right.
And it's looking like you're trying to. And again, I'm not here to judge nobody because live and let live. I listen to everybody.
Only God can judge me.
I listen to Tupac. You know, I listen to who are this?
Yeah.
Gucci, man.
I listen to Wu. Look, I got Wu-Tang.
I'm just saying, I do respect
Tupac.
I do respect that. Say, you know what? I'm gonna rock with Christ, and we don't need none of y'all. We don't need no sex. We don't need none of y'all. I don't want to work with y'all.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't rock with what y'all doing. I love y'all. Got love for y'all, but I ain't trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't judging y'all because a lot of times it's seen as, oh, they're being judgmental, and they can be judgmental. I'm not saying that part. Don't be just. I'm just saying like, God bless y'all, but I'm good over here.
See,
if you want to talk about God, come over here. We can talk about God, but I'm not about to come over there with you and do your little watered down version just to kind of like raise my stock and raise my profile.
Yeah.
So now I'm just, I don't know, man. I just always find it, and not just with like in matters of the Christian faith, just in general. When people try to stand next to folks to try to like get their clout up.
Yeah,
they want to stand next to people.
I don't like that.
And to me, it's just kind of, you look like a bozo. like the, you know, I'm 45. Imagine me trying to stand next to some young rapper to try to be cool with them and looking up to them, and I'm older. Like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, that's just so. And some of that though is kind of like, is that what's happening? Okay, yeah, I was deep in my Christian faith artist, but let me come back as regular. I don't want to use Malice, but just a regular rapper back in my regular.
Well, I mean, we can use Malice because we're talking about Malice in this case. I mean, he is a prime example of someone who left hip hop, became a believer, changed his name, his identity.
He was still rapping. See,
he
did 2 albums as No Malice.
As No Malice, right? He's coming back now as Malice, still as a believer, right? So they're you know, the Bible talks about, not to make this whole spiritual, you know, you get me to preaching up in here, right? So the Bible talks about, if you're in Christ, you're a new creation, right? And so if you're in a new creation, the old things have passed, behold the new, okay? And if you are a new creation in Christ and you are adopting, well, the word really isn't adopting, but displaying the fruits of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, long suffering, right? All these, the fruits of the Spirit, there is a transformation in that person that says, I was walking this way, but now I'm walking this way, right? And that's the repentance of the sins, to say, I was once this, but I found Christ, or whatever your religion for me is Christianity. Now I'm walking this way. And there are certain things that I'm going to not do that I did, that I struggled with, that I'm not going to do anymore, or I'm going to, as Philip Anthony Mitchell says, aggressively deal with that sin that's in your life, to say, now, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. And if you walked away from hip hop, because, not saying that Malice did, because he thought hip hop was bad and hip hop was evil and hip hop was of the devil, how does it look now that you're trying to come back into the house of the devil, right? If you thought that was foosball is of the devil, right? If you're trying to come back into that world, that now, to me, with the same message, with the same intent, to me, that's hypocritical. How can you come back into the hip hop fold if you felt it was one way, but now you want to come back into it? And it could be a money grab, right? I mean, it is a very lucrative field for artists who, at some level of notoriety, to come back into here to earn some dollars. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
But
I just think it's something to think about. It's something because I don't know, man. Again, I'm not even sure what my stance on it is, but I don't got no problem with Mace, Malice, Freeway, you know. And I wish Loon was still rap. I used to love Loon. I would love to hear how Loon sounds. And I don't know. I know Loon had a podcast, man. And I'm not saying this in the joking way, but maybe if the money get a little low, maybe Loon
maybe Loon come back and be like, hey,
I gotta get this money.
A lot of times people do stuff for some bread. They be like, look, I'm gonna come back and get it.
And one thing I learned is that human beings, we will justify anything.
We will.
We'll find a way to just justify
it.
Why we doing what we doing.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Don't be surprised, you know what I'm saying?
my thing is, if you confess to be openly that you are a believer in Christ, and there are certain things that come with that, right? Take up your cross and follow me daily, which means you are mimicking and following Christ. Be holy, for I am holy. Like you're following Christ. How can I now come back? And the whole thing about the whole, not for you, B. I'm just saying, like, people gotta read your Bible. Don't believe always. This is it's gonna sound crazy when I say it. Read your Bible. Don't always believe what your pastor's up there telling you. Read the Bible for yourself, right? I got the Bible and I got systematic theology down here and Christian morality books. Read the Bible for yourself. Study for. Y'all gonna hate this podcast today because I'm not trying to preach. But read the Bible for yourself. All right. And the Bible talks about we do judge. Right? This whole thing that we don't judge, this whole thing about, only God can judge me, that should be a very fearful thing.
Don't get me started with that. Don't get me started.
That's a very fearful thing. That phrase, you can't judge me, only God can judge me. No, you would rather have me judge you than have God judge you.
Well, first of all, Jesus even said, you will know a tree by its fruit. He didn't use the word judge, but you will judge. So we're fruit inspectors, right?
No, I mean,
so the whole fact that we would never judge, I think what the real meaning should be, you can't condemn nobody to hell. Only God can do that. But you are supposed to make judgments.
You're supposed to make judgments
all the time. You will know a tree by its fruit.
You're supposed. It talks about judging. Then it says, in the same manner that you judge, you will be judged. It doesn't say you can't. It just says in the same manner that you judge.
Yeah. You can't condemn nobody to hell. You should forgive.
And they always use, don't get me started, B.
But anyway.
Anyway, y'all, right?
What I was going to say was, I forgot what I was going to say about, I don't quite remember, but.
Is it okay that Malice is a professing, we talking about a professing Christian who's coming back and now he's, filth foreign filth.
This is what I was going to say. You got a lot of rappers, like Crazy Bone, for example, Fat Joe, LL Cool J, rappers who claim to be believers who never walked away, still doing it, because that's the thing. If it's really work, like you might be a plumber or an accountant, you get saved. I use the air quotes because people use that word, but you become a believer. And you go back to work on Monday.
I said a couple things in church one day.
You go back to work on Monday and you go back to work. What's the difference between that? Where a lot of rappers, they might have had profound spiritual experiences outside of work, but they never stopped their day job. So I don't want to make it seem like you have to walk away in order to really be a believer.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think
you got a lot of rappers who just. You never know. They just look at it as a job, but they are real. You hear LL Cool J talk, Fat Joe talk, Crazy Bone. It's a few others too.
Let me tell you what. If I'm a believer, right, and I'm rapping, how can I talk about fornication and adultery and and all these things that are now not a path that I walk? And things that I no longer believe in. Things
it's your job, it's entertainment. Like
that's
okay. So
then the question is, which one becomes the guiding philosophy or principle that you live your life by?
So must you be a gospel rapper then? If you have
you don't have to be a gospel rapper. You can be with the same thing, but it depends on, is your messaging the same? Do I still talk about smashing chicks and doing drugs? And that's not.
If you're good at it, if you're good at it, and it's paying your bills, and you got fans. Again, I'm not saying what's right or wrong. I'm just saying these are things to think about. But I don't like nobody. I'm not knocking nobody. What I don't like is hypocrites, though. That's one thing I don't like.
Yeah,
I don't like people who are hypocrites.
Look. In this thing, I don't like hypocrites either. And I mean, the thing is that the world is full of hypocrites.
We're all hypocritical to a degree.
We all hypocritical to a degree, right? And hypocrisy really comes in when I say one thing and I do something else deceitfully, though. Not just say one thing and do something. It's say one thing and do something deceitfully. Then I'm a hypocrite. So if I say don't do this, and then I do it and I lie about it and I'm deceitful about it and I don't have accountability about it, now I'm being a hypocrite, right? That's the other part to it is that deceitfulness that comes behind that statement of being hypocritical. But in this lyric, because once again, it's one of my favorite rappers, one of my favorite songs, Price Tag by The Truth. Yeah, if y'all never heard it, go listen to it. Right, but he talks about when you help the same people. This I was like, wow. When you help the same people that's working against the kingdom, you ain't taking it by force. You're making matters worse. And they all trying to get off by saying, I ain't the star. Man, that's like saying I ain't robbed the bank. I just drove the car. You ain't got to shoot the ball to put points on the board. All you got to do is pass to help the other team score. So even if you on the board, you still guilty as charged. And on that tour, by the way, God didn't open that door. That whole verse 3.
But I ain't gonna lie, I kind of don't like that sentiment, man, because worry about yourself, Truth.
He's talking about himself too.
What I'm saying is like, live and let live. Like you got your ministry, just hone in on that and help as many people as you can with your ministry. And if others who aren't living up to your expectations can glean from you, all the better. But trying to call folks out and say, don't do this, don't that. You gotta be careful with that, man. You gotta be careful with that. Just be the best rapper now, you can be.
I'm gonna say Jesus did that. I understand we ain't Jesus, right? Jesus did that. He literally called people out for their behaviors. So now we ain't trying to make this whole religious thing, right?
But that's the thing though. I don't think that we should be doing that. Just because Jesus did it, I don't think we should be doing that. Jesus was perfect.
But that's the model though. Jesus said
he was perfect, man.
But he told us to do those same type of things. But anyway, and he told us to do those same type of things.
I think we do it with how we live our life. And because again, when the day comes, when your dirty laundry gets aired, you're gonna be looking like a ding dong. And you know what I'm saying? Like, stop it, bro. Stop being so judgy, bro.
The laundry, everybody's laundry is gonna get aired in one fashion or way. It's gonna get aired. But anyway, like
I just think, especially if you got a problem with women too, you need to really chill, because that's one of the biggest. It's one of the biggest hypocrisies in the Christian world. And I don't know about the Islamic world because I've never been in that world. But I can tell you from the Christian world, sex.
Same.
And a lot of these preachers, that's the reason.
It's the same.
A lot of these preachers,
downfall.
a lot of these people, but so y'all need to chill how y'all judging.
It's the downfall.
When you know that you like sex.
It's the downfall.
You like coochie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You like coochie.
I was gonna say the other word, but I'm trying to keep it a little.
But yeah, no, that's the.
But you got to be. So I don't like the whole judgy and trying to call people out. Because again, just because I wouldn't do something, I mean I'm gonna knock you for doing it. You know what I mean? You know, and again, when we say only God can judge, only God can really condemn. I think that's the bad form of judging. When you're trying to tell people what they can't do, what they shouldn't do. How about you just do what you do and let them do what they do and just let it all. Let God sort it out. let God sort it out. Instead of you trying to
sort them all out.
Trying to be the referee and try to tell folks what they should and shouldn't be doing. That's the other problem with the whole cross movement, like type of thing, is because down the road when stuff starts coming out, it ain't gonna be good, and it's a big detriment.
That's true. I get it.
Stop being just focus on. Look, if you don't want to work with secular artists, if you don't want to be down with the world and accepted by the world, cool, great. You know what I'm saying? Even if you want to proclaim that, that's cool. But the moment you try to attack other people,
so for something like that, I can understand. Matters,
but and I'm not even knocking Truth, because I was the same way. I was the same way when I was younger. I tell you, maybe off camera, but I got some, people who end up being close friends of mine who were in that world doing that, and I would just kind of be on them. And don't you know your family this and and they said it and all that, and it's like looking back on them like, bro, that was so stupid. That was so dumb.
If they were believers, you are supposed to do that.
No.
Yes, sir. You are supposed to do that with your brothers.
Tell them not to work with secular artists?
No, not something like that.
That's what I was.
Yeah. I'm not saying anything.
Doing that?
I'm not saying anything like that. I'm talking about specifically matters of sin.
But in our, again, even sin, bro, like
we are supposed to do that.
No, I'm saying, but even sin, because that's a blurred line, because working with secular artists,
it's not a sin.
Because it will be considered a sin. Be considered a sin.
No.
Because we can let's break it down, man. Because Paul said you shouldn't even sit down at the table and eat with somebody who's fornicating. You shouldn't even have it. You shouldn't even sit at the same table and have a meal with somebody if you know they're a fornicator, bro.
If you know they're fornicator, so these are issues of sin.
What I'm saying is,
right?
If you're not supposed to sit down and have a meal with somebody who you know is a fornicator, you dang sure shouldn't be making a record with them,
right,
in the studio.
I get that.
So what's the difference?
I get that, but it's the same metaphor that Peter said he didn't want to eat the unclean food, and God said, "I made these clean." Right.
The Apostle Paul is the one who
who
laid out all those rules.
Yeah.
Again, which I'm going somewhere with this. What I'm trying to say is that I don't want to sound sacrilegious, but you open that can of worms.
I'm all for it.
You got to read these religious books, man, with some kind of discernment, because
I'm all for it.
Because Paul was a man anointed. The whole Bible, particularly the New Testament, I'm talking about the epistles that Paul wrote in particular.
13 letters.
It was a man. It was a man who was possessed by the Holy Spirit, writing letters to churches that he had planted throughout that region.
Yep.
He had planted churches, gave them instructions, and he wrote them letters on, like, following up with them about what they were doing, what he was hearing. Honestly, bro, that's not a whole lot different than preachers getting up and preaching on Sunday. And just like you said, you got to have some discernment with everything that the preachers are saying. You got to have some discernment when you read those epistles. I said
you
it
do.
Because everything in those epistles, some of that stuff was Paul just talking, bro. I'm just going to put it out there. Some of that stuff was Paul just, all right, Paul. He said, if you're a female, you should sit down and shut up in church if you're a female.
But in the context of that day, what was happening in the context of that day to make Paul say that?
Women weren't as liberated as they are today. That's the context. Women didn't have many rights.
So we're going.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm telling you,
this is going to be a second episode.
What I'm telling you, because it goes back to the whole hypocrisy thing. Because some of that stuff is, I'm gonna say it again. Some of that stuff that Paul said was in direct contrast with some of the stuff that Jesus hung out with these people, with the fornicators.
True.
So it's like, how can you tell somebody don't sit down and eat with them?
But Jesus hung out with the fornicators for a particular purpose.
Paul didn't go into detail when he was talking to the church.
But this is not something that Jesus did on a regular basis.
But see, now you're adding stuff to the story.
Not adding anything.
No, because
no.
You don't know all the details as to why Paul wrote what he wrote. You assuming that Paul wrote that for certain reasons. You don't know.
Yeah, you can go back and look at the history of that area and what was happening at that time in that church, in that culture, in that environment.
So you add into it.
No, I mean, but you got to understand the context of why Paul was writing those letters to the church.
We weren't there. All we know is what
I don't have to be there.
What he wrote.
But I don't have to be there.
Women shouldn't talk. You just should sit down.
But why?
Keep their mouth shut.
But why though?
You shouldn't sit down and have.
But why was he saying that? But that's just like me reading something and not knowing the context of why that author said that specific thing to those groups of people at that time, in that culture, in that environment. There had to be something that was going on in order for Paul to say, don't do X, Y, and Z. In that you can't just take it just because Paul said don't do this. There has to be a reason why he's saying that in the environment that he was in. And that church was in at that moment with that environment that they were surrounded by. It's not that he just automatically just said, women just shut up and don't say nothing in church. Why did he say it? What was happening?
So you don't think that was sexist at all?
Nope.
I disagree.
Nope.
I disagree.
Because it depends. right? So as we move off of this topic, right? Because we can, trust me, I could go all day with the whole thing. It always reminds me that there are things that are in the Bible that are written for the people at that moment in that particular space in the Bible. There are certain things that we as believers like to claim that we can't claim.
So to me, this sounds like cherry picking. Like
that
I'm gonna pick this scripture, but this scripture right here,
it's not cherry picking.
Don't apply because it's so and so.
It doesn't. It probably doesn't apply to you.
But my point though, B, is that like we can do that with these religious books. We can. People can justify whatever they want to,
and that's how they use it, to justify.
Like in the Old Testament, they justify slavery,
of course,
with certain scriptures, and
they try to say God allows slavery. Anyway. we get all those topic and everything, ladies and gentlemen.
But these are the kind of things, like, all I'm saying is that stop judging everybody. Like, let them, if they want to preach and come back to the church, just worry about you, man. As long as you're not trying to, like, if Malice was coming here bashing everybody, you know, he coming here humble, it's cool. Just let it ride, let it rock, man.
Hey.
But the moment you say, don't do this, don't do that, that's what I got a problem with, man. When you start handing out, you better not be doing this, you better not be doing that, and it's like,
well, I mean, I think the last thing I would say in regards to that, if it's from a condemnation perspective, then, you know, we don't have that ability to condemn anybody in that perspective. I mean, but this whole conversation really is about, should someone who professes a particular faith or walked away from that faith, walked away from that, in this case, hip hop, is it hypocritical for them to come back because they had some type of angst against that, against whatever that is, against hip hop, R&B, whatever? And it could be seen as hypocritical if they come back and they're talking about things that are in alignment with their belief. I would probably say in that case. But it's very interesting, right? I mean, I think people deal with that every day because hip hop and R&B were built on, especially R&B, church, right? You got tons of church singers that came out of R&B. They started in the church and now they do music, right? And so some of them don't profess, some of them do profess still. But it's very interesting because you got to figure out where you are in the whole scheme of this whole thing. If you say you believe in this or believe in something, does that align and match with what you stand for? What your actions and your behavior, does that align with your belief?
That's the most important thing to me. The most important thing is how you live your life. You know, that's the most important thing. How do you treat people? Are you kind? Do you have the Spirit of God literally exhibiting actions through you? That's what all what you're saying. Again, again, be careful, because a lot of what you're saying, if your actions don't line up, if your heart don't even line up right,
that's right.
You're gonna have these scandals come out. You're gonna have all this mess come out, and just, you know,
Even
with the whole, even with Tyler Perry, man. I don't know if it wasn't on the thing with Tyler Perry got some stuff going on with the guy suing him.
He do,
and I don't know what's gonna happen with the lawsuit, but the text message is enough. It's just kind of cringe.
He got receipts.
Yeah, just
my man got receipts.
Just the cringe, and it's again, and I'm not sure if Tyler Perry was ever really preachy. I'm not sure, but
I don't think so.
But I do know he's trying to be a man of faith.
He professed to be a man of faith.
Man of faith, and it's just kind of, and again, hey man, I mean, just because you're a man of faith, don't mean you can't be freaky. You know what I'm saying?
Be freaky with your wife. Okay, you want to be freaky with somebody? Be freaky with your wife.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be as freaky as you want to with your wife. Cause that's your wife, right? You can do all them fantasies you had. You can do whatever you want to do. I mean,
hey, look, I'm not knocking nobody, man.
With your wife,
I'm not knocking nobody. As long as you ain't breaking the law, I'm not knocking. All I'm saying is that be careful. Nowadays, everybody's dirty laundry is coming out. Even I saw today, Shannon Sharp,
this guy again
They settled the lawsuit. The lawsuit's been dismissed.
Oh, with the white lady?
It's been dismissed. Yeah. The 19-year-old white lady who was 18 at one time.
Yes, I know. I saw that. I think I saw that today too.
Again, man, not to be a judge, but I'm gonna be a fruit inspector.
Like,
I'm gonna inspect some fruit right here.
Fruit inspector.
That's nasty.
That's nasty
You're
work.
50-something years old, bro.
Come on, bro.
I got a daughter.
Didn't Monique tell him? She was like, "You need to go be a grandpa. Stop hanging around with chasing these young women."
But what I'm saying is, though, I guess the point of all that is just like with Tyler Perry as well. your dirty laundry will come out one way or the other. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, speaking of dirty laundry, dude. Did you see did we talk about that? The couple that just got caught at the Coldplay concert? Bro, that mug is all over the news everywhere, right? Like,
I put that picture on Snapchat. I put this picture of they're making him into a meme.
Bro, they're making it. Yo, we're gonna see comedy sketch.
Oh, no, they've already have.
Oh, they already got them. See,
they've got this one AI.
Oh yeah, I saw the AI one
of when like it says I follow a baseball page.
Mm-hmm.
It was when it says when the New York Yankees saw the first game of the World Series. I guess they was losing. The guy hit a home run and he took his hands off of her. She walked away or whatever. And then he picked her up and threw her.
He threw it.
Yeah,
it's like, oh my gosh. But yo, you talking about?
Yeah, I got this as I posted.
Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna put that as my screensaver,
bro. You talking about your dirty laundry being caught on the jumbotron?
Yeah.
Man? Oh my goodness. But here's the thing: what you do in the dark, will come to light.
And I think that again, as artists, as independent artists, I think the more authentic we live, the more free we can be.
Yep.
With our art, with our whatever, because you know, let them know who you are, and just let the world know who you are, and just be authentic about it. And if you got chicks, at least you upfront about it.
I got,
because even with Tyler Perry, we didn't know that. Does he like men or something? Because he was flirting with this dude on the.
Yo, people have always thought that Tyler Perry liked.
And what I'm saying is,
men's.
Had he been authentic this whole time, this wouldn't be a shock.
Yeah, it wouldn't be an issue if we thought that he was already, you know.
But it's like now, it's like, whoa, because he had a long time girlfriend, he had a child. Mm-hmm. Just be yourself. Just be yourself, bro.
Just be yourself, my guy.
Be yourself, and just do it at the concert. I mean, hey, man. Hey.
Yeah, like, bro, just...
the look on her face. She looked.
Bro, the look on her face is like... She's like, oh my gosh.
He sat down immediately. And then he tried to play it off by putting his hands up. Like, no.
Yeah, and he tried to dip down. Yeah, nah, he good.
Oh, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But just be authentic. Just try to be authentic, man.
Be authentic in what you do and who you are. And I think that's the thing. In this last message, just be authentic. So
yeah, for sure. Be authentic, man. And just don't judge nobody, man. Don't judge.
Man, so
speaking of judge, Nicki Minaj is like judging everybody.
Oh,
man.
Bro, what's going on?
She feel like she's been wronged.
By everybody. Well, not everybody.
Well, Jay-Z and Rock Nation.
Yeah.
In particular.
So to give y'all the context of what my man Brian is talking about, right? So I titled this Nicki Minaj versus Everybody. Mean Girl Persona, Industry Conspiracies, and Fan Fallout. Nicki Minaj is once again at the center of controversy, this time taking shots at SZA, which I don't know why she's taking shots at SZA, TDE's punch, and even accusing Jay-Z and Rock Nation of plotting against her. As her social media rants intensifies, fans and critics alike are questioning whether she's speaking uncomfortable truths about the industry or spiraling into self-sabotage. Is this part of a calculated strategy, or is the mean girl persona finally wearing thin?
Yeah, and I think the whole TDE thing, I could be wrong because I'm not the biggest T follower, but it seems like she was going at it with Punch from TDE for whatever reason. And SZA said something about like Mercury retrograde. She said something.
Yeah, I saw the thing about Mercury retrograde.
That may have been taken as like, okay, she was throwing a shot at Nicki to defend the punch. And that's when Nicki just... and you know what's funny too? When people just kind of come out of nowhere and start going off on you, you know they felt this. You're like, where's this coming from? They felt it the whole time. So obviously Nicki has some kind of feelings or frustrations towards SZA before this eruption the other day.
Why SZA though? Like, I don't see SZA in the news being dramatic about anything.
Or problematic or beefing and all this stuff.
Or beefing with anybody or accusing anybody of anything, right? It's like she just does her stuff and she goes about her life.
It comes off as being like a bully on Nicki's part. But the thing about it is, you can't bully SZA. You know, there was a time when SZA was kind of like signed to TDE.
SZA from St. Louis.
Oh, she is?
Yeah. Okay. If I remember correct, look, y'all gonna have me go y'all know. Let me make sure SZA from St. Louis before I look.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know. SZA's from SZA is she hold on, let me see. Is SZA from St. Louis, y'all? Did SZA grow up in St. Louis?
I want to say no.
Early life and education. She grew up in St. Louis. Yep. She was born in St. Louis on November 8th, 1989. But she grew up in Maplewood, New Jersey. So she was born there, but anyway, I'm just saying Nicki seems like a bully in this sense. Why is she coming? And she's not just coming for SZA like, I got just a couple of words to say against you. It's like, this is
onslaught. Talk about her freckles.
Yeah, this is an onslaught. Like, what's
her appearance? The thing about it is though, like SZA SZA a big dog now.
Yeah, SZA a big dog.
SZA ain't SZA first came out, she was signed to TDE for a few years, and she was like, I think doing songwriting. She was kind of feeling her way out there, She hadn't blew up, but Control album came out.
She's a superstar.
Oh yeah, and you can make an argument that she's bigger than Nicki Minaj now. Now Nicki was saying about her doing all these stadiums and all these countries. Got to fact check some of that, but I'm not sure if at the very least they're on the same level.
At the very least.
At the very least.
Yeah, SZA is at that level now where she is a superstar. I don't think she's a mega star, but she's absolutely a superstar. And now Nicki is coming at another superstar. But why are you coming at SZA the way that you're coming at SZA? What is, I mean, and this is happening on this platform, this level. I mean, what happens from an independent perspective when it happens on this level down here, right? You got a major, she's not a megastar. Would you consider Nicki a megastar?
No. I think that she might have flirted with megastardom early in her career. But I told people back in 2014, 2015 that she was done as far as being a megastar. Like, I told that window, she'll be a star. She'll have her fans. She'll do well. She's an amazing rapper. But as far as her on that level, that's been done. That's been done for a good 8, 9, 10 years, in my opinion. I think she's a superstar, but megastar, nah.
Yeah, I think she's a superstar because I think she can still tour and still generate the numbers that she needs to generate stadium-wise. Still got to fact check some of the things that she said, but stadium-wise, I still think she can pull in and draw in the people that she can draw. I think she can still fill those venues up to capacity. But why SZA? Like, what does SZA do to you that, and this is even for an independent person, what did that person do to you that will cause you to kind of snap out at that person? What was the emotional trigger?
To me, it just seems like jealousy to me. Like, of course, topics like these are kind of tricky because we really don't know what goes on in somebody's mind. We really can't psychoanalyze and say, especially with us not having an education in like psychology or.
Oh no, your man's. Well, I ain't go to school I almost went to school for psychology. That was almost my major.
But I'm saying I don't know if we can diagnose her in any kind of way.
I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know.
But just off the layman's opinion or whatever, it seems like she has to be jealous. What else is there? Unless maybe in the comments y'all could tell us, because it all started when she was defending Punch. And I just think that, SZA, it seems to me that every female, like with Cardi B, who's threatening to be the megastar, in particular the black female megastar, she wants to come at him. Wasn't she beefing with was it Lotto? I know Megan Thee Stallion.
I think didn't she beef with all of them?
Pretty much.
Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B.
Yeah. I think she was cool with Ice Spice, who poses her no threat. Ain't no threat.
She posed no threat to her though.
No threat.
None. But somebody like a Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, absolutely pose a threat to Nicki Minaj, because those two individuals specifically could have been two artists that knocked her down. That could, and so in this whole thing, it seems like, yeah, Nicki is a superstar, and it's like she's punching down, coming at SZA, who is on her I don't know. You can't even say on her way.
I don't think it's punching down at this point because SZA she might be punching up.
May be punching up. That's what I was about to say. She may be punching up now.
Yeah.
Because SZA is an absolute superstar.
And I think the delusion may come in where it may seem like Nicki may think she's punching down. Because, I'm going to get her from coming to my level. Not. But no, you're not. She's actually bigger than you right now. Possibly.
I saying, we got to look at the numbers.
In my opinion,
but possibly.
At the very least, at the same level as you.
I mean, but the question is once again, are these calculated strategies? Is it, let me start a beef with this person to keep my relevancy in the industry?
I have no idea.
Is it a way for her name to still be in the mouth of people because we know that SZA is on tour with Kendrick and SZA is doing great things out in the music space? Is this now a strategy for me to say, kind of like the Jim Jones strategy?
No. Jim Jones ain't in the stratosphere now.
No.
He ain't in Nas universe.
I'm saying to keep my name relevant in the mouth of people. To say, yeah, you know what? Nicki is better than SZA. But y'all do two different types of music. Right?
She a better rapper than SZA.
Yeah, she's a better rapper. Yeah, Nicki is number one female rapper.
But is she a better artist than SZA? I don't know. I don't know about that.
I don't know. Maybe.
Possibly.
Possibly.
I know SZA has 30 million more listeners a month on Spotify than Nicki Minaj.
And Nicki gonna continue. She continue this, what may be deemed to be self-sabotage, because through actions like this.
I mean, listen, 46 million a month ain't nothing to sneeze at. That's
nothing to sneeze at.
But SZA got 76 million a month.
And that's, but when you look at the caliber of the artist that Nicki and SZA is that 46 million a month? That's still a heck of a lot right there.
Cardi B only got 30 million a month.
Yeah, Cardi B is going to continue to, hers probably going to continue to drop.
Ice Spice 14 million. I don't know why.
Hers going to continue. Hers going to drop too.
They want to show me this.
What about Lotto? How many Lotto got?
See, they
12 million.
I don't know why they put.
No, she probably got.
Let's guess. You say 12 million.
Lotto. She probably got 20 million.
I'm gonna say 8 million.
Oh, let's see.
17 million.
So right. She probably got around 20 million.
My bad, Lotto. My bad. I underestimated your game.
She probably got 20 million. And I think why is because she has been releasing some music, and I also think the Netflix I want to say Hustle and Flow.
Not that.
Is that what it is? It was
Rhythm and Flow.
Rhythm and Flow.
I think that episode, that season kind of, I don't know what the numbers were, but did that flop? Because nobody talked about that other than us. We talked about it. Nobody really talked about that season.
And plus I think she continuously drops music to stay engaged with her fans. So people still like Lotto.
Glorilla 23 million. I'm going through all of them. Glorilla 23 million.
I don't see that lasting.
How many Megan Thee Stallion got, you think?
25?
I'm gonna say 32. 24.2.
Bam. That Meg Thee Stallion. She dating what's old
Klay Thompson. Oh my gosh, man.
It's no shade to anybody. I'm glad. I love it when someone can find the person that makes them happy.
Bro, they just started dating, bro. They be broke up next month, bro.
She was like,
they'll be done next month.
She was like, I'm glad to be with a person that it makes me happy and is kind. Right?
They'll be done next month. I'm being silly, yo.
So I saw the video of them at some function. I guess it was that same function they went to when they were holding hands, and she was like, yeah. And he's just like, I'm about to be tired of this.
Let me tell you something.
Because
they first figured out they were dating because she took a picture and it was Klay Thompson.
Oh yeah, in the back of the pool.
Yeah. And somebody said the last time Nick was at the pool, where did you see what happened? So watch out.
That's right. He was in the back of the photo. Somebody had to zoom in, like, who's that?
The last time,
they had an image enhanced that
went to the pool with it, and it didn't end so well. So
it didn't end so well, And not to talk about that type, because that's not even one of the topics, right? But how do you deal with that? How do you deal with a situation where you know that this particular individual is surrounded by, in this case, some drama that's going on in their life, and you decide you want to be with that person?
Man, it's called having fun, bro. Clay having some fun.
He having fun.
He's taking his turn.
It's Meg the Stallion.
Clay taking his turn.
It's Meg the Stallion.
He's taking his turn. It's my turn. We're gonna live it up.
He young cat.
I'll keep the seat warm until it's your turn, brother. Let me just have my turn. Clay's taking his turn.
He's taking his turn.
Taking his turn. He enjoyed himself. Then the next brother the next NBA / rapper, whoever will have their turn.
I'm just saying, like,
I know that sounds bad, but
it does sound bad, but it's like, but when you look, it can sound bad.
And I ain't mad at it.
It can sound bad.
I ain't mad. Maybe I would have a turn too if I was him.
But
I'm not mad at all.
But when you look at the context, the whole context of when you look at the whole context of that world and what happens in that world, and you start seeing people date the other people often, it's like, oh, she got a new boyfriend now. Or I don't want to use the term, she got a new boyfriend. He got a new girlfriend, right? You can transpose that in either way. Because a lot of people are like, oh, they hate on women because, it's always women got it. But anyway, he got it. I mean, I don't know. Did we see him with somebody else prior to this? Who was he with prior to this?
I don't know. Like, Clay has been low.
Yeah, now he's in the limelight now.
The Snow Bunnies. He's on a boat somewhere.
Snow Bunny, Lake Lanier. No, but
out there in Cali. He from Cali.
Yeah, he's from Cali. But I've always just thought about that because it just seems odd to me that and I know this ain't none topics we talking about. It just seems odd to me that if I gotta really like you, or I gotta really want to have fun, for me to get into a relationship with you, to be seen in public with you,
he's taking this. Listen,
and knowing that you got all this crazy drama,
listen, bro,
around you,
she's
known for this.
She's over sexualized
all the time,
and
all the time.
Some of them pictures be looking nice. You know what I'm saying?
Know.
If you a multi-millionaire and you got a chance to get with that, he's taking this turn.
He gonna get with
again. I'm not judging, bro, because if I was in that same situation, I'd probably take my turn too. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. You know what I'm saying? He's just taking his turn though.
His turn.
But I don't see that. I don't see how that will. Because again, Clay will be with the white girls on the boat, from what I be seeing. So this is definitely
he's trying to return. He's trying to return to the motherland.
Change, but like I said, I would take my turn too. So I ain't mad at him. You know,
trying to get down with the brown.
Just having this little fun, man. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know how we even got to. Oh yeah, about her beefing with Nicki Minaj.
About her beefing with Nicki Minaj.
But
right. I mean, but like I said, those two would be the two people that could knock her off her pedestal from her reign as #1 rapper.
I don't feel like she don't got no threat with Meg Thee Stallion. I don't think Meg.
I think she did at one point.
I don't think Meg messed with her lyrically.
I don't think so either.
Meg,
but it don't have to be lyrically.
Got like one flow.
But it doesn't have to be lyrically. It's just it can just be popularity though.
Oh, like Nicki's a lyrical like wizard. Like,
she is.
Like
that's why she's a #1 female rapper.
I don't think Meg like don't challenge her in terms of
no. But still, Nicki, why are you coming at SZA? I mean, I would expect for SZA to defend the people in her camp, right? And I can understand if SZA came and says something crazy, like, "Hey, you better back that up. Who you think you're talking to? I'm gonna come." Like, I can understand if she says.
I think Nicki trying to kill
crazy.
In Nicki's mind, she's gonna kill a fly with a sledgehammer.
And SZA is not a fly.
Like, oh, you want to come over here and say something?
SZA is not.
I'm about to unload on you, but
she ain't no fly.
Again, I think Nicki, like, you messing with, because again, I know you got the barbs, but this is what I was saying when I was writing this topic out. Even as a small independent, you want to stay away from this stuff because when you beef and when you have conflict with other artists, you're especially independents. You need all the fans you can get. The last thing you want to do is alienate another fan base. You want to, if anything, you want to steal their fans, or make their fans a part of your fan base. You don't want to sit here and alienate fans and get people to hate you, don't even know you, who are biased. Because as fans, we're biased. If our favorite is beefing with somebody else, we automatically don't like that person, and we will not give their music a chance because you came against our artist. So you want to be careful with that. You want to be careful with shutting off potential fans.
Yeah.
If somebody, if you don't like them, do it in private. Like, And of course, and again, I'm all here for like rap beef. If you want to battle lyrically, that's fine too. But even then, though, you want to be careful.
Yeah, I think if you go the sport of rap,
do it in a song,
right? Do it in a song, and have that to be the competitive place where you do that at, right? Not these crazy jabs at social media
tweets and all that stuff,
and tweets and Instagram posts and who's bigger than who, and it's like that. Put it in music, and I mean, you're artists. Put it in music and keep it in the music, right? Do it that way. I don't, and for independence, and I don't really apply this to people at Nicki's level and at SZA's level, but in the independent space, you always want to be kind to the people that you run across.
Because you never know who.
Because you never know when you may need that person or when that person is in a position.
What position they in?
You never know. They could be, I could be low today and I could be up tomorrow, and you need that door to be open, and I'm somehow now the person who opened that door, and you
or you might not be hip. That person may be in position right now.
They could.
And you just don't know it.
That's right.
They may have 100 followers on Twitter, but be like the man at this company, or be the one standing next to the person. Because a lot of times with people of influence, it be people around them who can really influence them.
That's right.
That may be quote unquote nobodies, but they may have the ear of the quote unquote somebody that you need. Right. And you just crapped on them.
Look, I'm gonna tell y'all independent something. All right. I'm talking about this whole be nice and be kind. You never know who that person is or what that person is capable of doing in this music space. You know, Brian's talking about they may be you just never know. Don't be fooled by social media. Just because people have low numbers on social media doesn't mean they're not influential in the music space.
A fact.
Right? Just because, that person only got 1,000 followers. I got 1,000 followers on my personal Instagram. Oh, I finally crossed 1,000. But you don't know who I know though. I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but you don't know who I know. And it's like, I don't have a lot of followers, but do I know a lot of people? I know a lot of people, and I know a lot of movers and shakers and people and companies, like, and B as well. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, B knows tons of people, has connections to tons of people. Don't get it twisted. Just because we don't have thousands of followers, and sometimes you even got people with thousands of followers who ain't got connections to nobody. They can't get a door to open because they ain't got them relationships. They ain't built them relationships. So a lot of these people you listening to on podcasts, a lot of people you listening to, I think this is my spiel right here. People that you listen to on these podcasts, people that you listening to in these circles, they ain't got the influence you really think they got. They can't pick up the phone and call that person and get stuff done. Don't be fooled by trust me, don't be fooled by the social media.
So in other words, don't try to be Nicki Minaj, because Nicki Minaj has already made it.
Yeah.
She could burn a bridge and she'll be fine.
Yep.
You don't want to burn no bridge.
You can't afford to do that.
Can't burn them same bridges. So you want to talk.
And the industry is small, y'all. I hope y'all know that. The industry is small. There's 2 degrees of separation. Like, I may know somebody that I'm trying to get in contact with, but B know them. And it's like, yeah, well, don't worry, I got it. That's what you need. Boom. Like, the industry is small. As soon as you do something crazy, trust me, it get around. People know. Like, yeah, don't mess with that guy. And I'm all for, people forming their own opinions about other people, because your situation and that person's situation and the way y'all interact, it may be different than how you interact with me and what happens. But trust me, it already sets a precedent of a behavior that you don't want to get around in the industry, period. So be on your best behavior all the time. Don't come in here with your ego, thinking that people owe you something, thinking that you're entitled to this and that.
And God forbid, don't walk in the room talking shit.
Don't, because they're going to look at you like.
Especially when you don't even. Who was that? I was with somebody. I was in the studio one time and somebody was talking crap about Waka Flocka. All right? And we had somebody in the room who was in the same room that was super tight with Waka Flocka. Mm-hmm. Super tight with him. And it was in my mind and people that knew mine was like awkward. Like this person, like, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, okay, like I guess there's your chance of ever doing that.
Yep.
Working with that because we were just looking like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You never know. They don't have to be the big guy. They don't have to be the artist, but they can absolutely be connected to that person, bro. Y'all keep tripping out here.
All right. So, you know, and side note in the Nicki tweet, she retweeted somebody posting a lot of SZA's old tweets where SZA said stuff about Beyonce, Rihanna, and all that. And I just thought that was funny. Like, careful what you tweet to, because they can look up your old tweets. You know,
everything on the internet is
right.
They can bring it back.
Even if you delete it, some tech savvy person can like look it up and pull it up. So
that's right.
Just be careful. Don't emulate Nicki, man. Don't go out like that.
Don't emulate
and again,
Nicki.
If you feel like you've been wrong, man. I know it's cliche. We talked about the gospel stuff earlier, but kind of let God, let karma, let the universe take care. You don't gotta, everything don't gotta be defended too. You don't gotta jump up and defend everything. Sometimes God will just show out for you.
Sometimes you do like Nas did.
Yeah, Nas
ain't say a doggone word about Jim Jones. He said nothing.
You know, he don't have to.
He don't got to. And in this case, SZA don't got to respond and say nothing back to Nicki.
He said a few things, though.
I know.
Said a few things.
I know, but you don't got to. Let Nicki just run her mouth and just be perceived however she's going to be perceived. Just do you. Like, you don't got to respond to every single thing. But you know why people respond? The ego and that pride and that bravado getting away. And it's like, again, you talking smack?
Again, it's easy for us to say when we're not some big celebrity being attacked.
True.
With this, because again, that celebrity, SZA's doing stadiums with Kendrick around the world right now. So of course, like her ego is up there right now. There. And I'm sure her humility matches it. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure it does. But you want to talk stuff to me? Really, me?
Me?
You know what I'm doing?
You know I'm gonna talk stuff back.
You know what I'm doing?
Big three.
Especially
big me.
You want to do a feature with me a couple years ago? You really? She had posted that conversation.
I know.
But so it's like,
you got receipts. You know, so, be careful. Man. Everything is a receipt. So
it's crazy.
Whether it's your deeds, whether it's your tweets, whether it's your posts, people can always dig it back up. It's in the archives. Right? It's on microfiche. Y'all don't even know what that is. But they can bring it back up. So
don't be like Nicki.
Don't be like Nicki, man.
What else you got over here?
Man, we got a bunch of stuff, but we're only gonna get to this one right here. But I'm trying to. There's a couple things.
Well, I want to talk about the AI group.
Yeah, let's talk about the AI group, man.
That's so crazy.
I know y'all know because y'all probably been following. If you have not been following the story, right? Velvet Sundown, which is a fully AI generated band that shocked the music world by amassing over 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify without any real human members, live performances, or traditional promotion. Initially posing as a retro rock group, they later revealed themselves as a synthetic music project created entirely with AI. The composing, the voicing, and the visualization was all AI generated. They framed it as an artistic provocation. The project has stirred controversy around authenticity, transparency, and the ethics of AI in music. Now, Spotify stayed silent about this whole thing, while other platforms like Deezer flagged their stuff as AI generated. So the question is, as we get into this, like AI independents aren't just battling independence, they're also battling AI generated artists, right? AI generated artists who can easily flood the market easily with music. I just thought that was interesting because I've been looking at this whole Velvet Sundown thing. Like,
it's called The Velvet Sundown, right?
Is it called The Velvet Sundown?
Because I looked up on Spotify, I found The Velvet Sundown.
What's their actual real name? Yeah, The Velvet Sundown.
Okay, yeah. They got 1.4 million monthly listeners.
You know what's so crazy? They released 3 albums and within like the span of like 2 months.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy.
Well,
with no promotion, no live performances, no YouTube videos, no nothing.
But this is a Spotify though.
That's true.
Oh, wait a second. They got pictures?
The AI generated pictures.
That's nuts, bro.
Crazy.
So these
right, the four guys,
these real people.
Yeah, this AI generated.
That's spooky.
Those are AI generated people.
That's spooky.
Yeah. Yes. So it talks about. So check this out, right? So in here it talks about how they started. They arrived. So and it was Reddit people that started going like, who is this group and what's going on with them? And they started off with 200,000 Spotify monthly listeners, and as of July 1st, that total stood at 550,000, which quickly approached 650,000 by the end of the day. They surpassed 500,000 monthly listeners in that time frame, but they released an album. It says the Velvet Sundown had managed to do with 2 albums, one released on the 5th of July and the other on the 20th.
Yeah.
A third 13-track entitled Paper Sun Rebellion is slated to drop July 14th, right? But
to answer one of your questions,
that's crazy.
I think off the bat, it should be some kind of label on there. This is AI.
That's what Deezer did.
Off the rip, because music is a spiritual experience for me.
Me too.
It's a spiritual experience for me. And I want to know, right or wrong, either. Because I'm not saying some of this stuff I probably shouldn't listen to, maybe. I don't know. But right or wrong, I want to know what's coming from a person, another soul.
I want to know if it's coming from a soul. Did a human being make this song?
Yes, that's what I want to know, because then it's kind of like, and I'm not saying this. I'm giving my opinion. I'm not even saying this is smart, but because maybe you like AI, I don't know. But for me, I want a real person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's bad enough that like some of the musicality is probably AI off rip.
All of it.
So I'm not talking about from regular artists.
Oh yeah.
That's becoming more and more common. Yeah. So that's already bad enough.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't knocking that though, because I might need some help sometime. I can't play chords. I might could start something. If you can give me a couple of suggestions on how to finish this. Nope.
Yeah, I think that's different.
I ain't mad at that.
I think.
But anyway, it's neither here nor there. But put a label on there, bro. So to give me the option to not want to, because I'm torn about this, because I'm okay with people doing it, because it's a free world. If you want to create,
free world, you can do whatever you want to do.
AI, just let me know what I'm doing, what I'm dealing with.
I need a label.
And then pictures too. These are not even people.
I need a label. Like,
it's getting out of control. Do you know you can go on Facebook now? I saw this woman do this on Facebook. She had a picture of herself at the beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can make a video of a man, the man of your dreams, walking up to you, giving you a hug.
I saw that.
You can do that, and it look real.
I saw that.
And it's kind of like,
well, why would I want that though? Give me the real deal. Like, let me actually go find real love.
Folks putting themselves with Chris Brown in pictures of Chris Brown.
Now those be funny though. I saw one today. Chris Brown was dancing, and the lady was like dancing. Now those, I think those are funny.
No, I'm not mad. What I'm saying though is that's like, let's protect the what's the word? Start with the sanctity or the sacredness of music. Mm-hmm. Let's protect that by at least giving a label so that we can know, and having a way to filter. You can filter. You know how when you on your GPS you can filter out avoid tolls,
avoid highway.
Yeah, avoid AI.
That's right.
Search
give me the option.
Anything. Yeah, give me.
But I think part of the bigger issue with this whole thing is that a lot of people said Spotify knew that this was the AI group. I mean, and that's literally how they started to blow up.
Bro, let me tell you something,
Is that Spotify started to...
Spotify got to be in on this, bro.
That's what people saying.
No way they're going to grow that fast. Spotify.
That's what people saying.
In on it, bro.
That's what people saying, is that Spotify is a part of this whole thing.
If you Spotify, we already fighting over paying y'all pennies. We just do our own and keep the whole thing.
Like...
That's why, again, I don't want to get in trouble from nobody, but that's why I'm all for artists streaming their own music.
Me too.
On your own website.
Me too.
$3 a month.
Me too.
Stream our catalog.
Me too.
Period.
Me too. It's just that we've become conditioned to go to Spotify. I don't even have a Spotify account, so I can't listen to your music on Spotify at all. Anyway, I don't. I mean, I do got a Spotify account,
the free one, but I got the free one.
I mean, I got because we got a podcast. So I got a Spotify for podcasters because that's our podcast is on Spotify. And I get it, right? So it's kind of that same thing. Like, I get it because a mass of people live. That's like not using YouTube. And YouTube is the biggest search engine, and is of course is owned by Google, right? And so it's who doesn't use YouTube? And so it's the same thing. Who doesn't use Spotify? I mean, I literally don't listen to any music on Spotify.
I do think the
artists. So that's
I think the artists.
Music.
I got YouTube Music.
So
it's worth the money. I don't want to give a commercial for them, but anyway.
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
I think
right?
artists should stream their own music. Maybe you still have it on the major DSPs, but give your real people who are fanatical about you option to pay you $5 a month.
Get a Patreon.
$4 a month.
Get a Patreon
to stream a whole catalog plus exclusive songs that's nowhere else.
Yeah, good.
Hey, y'all independents. Listen, if you got 1,000 good fans, maybe you can get a couple hundred of them to pay you.
If you don't have a Patreon, you should have a Patreon. I mean, I got a Substack, and the reason why I got a Substack,
or just a Cash App in your bio,
something. Oh, you can even do Stripe, right? If you go to our profile right now in the bio, you can actually donate to We Create Music TV and the Indie Unplug if you want to support us, right? You can set up a Stripe where you can have people donate to you. It don't got to be a whole Patreon. You can set up a Stripe that goes directly to your bank account.
Something, man. All I'm saying to the people, is we gotta kind of fight against this in certain ways. And one way to fight against it is to have your own way to, because I think Spotify got to be in on it some kind of way. Call me a conspiracy theorist or whatever you want to call me.
I think they are on it.
They in on it.
They are.
At the very minimum,
you are
indirectly in on it. At the very minimum, some kind of way.
I think y'all are directly in on it because the way that the way they blew up and how they started to get. Now, Spotify would say that they just ended up on these playlists, and that's how they blew up. Yeah, but Spotify still has to have some type of as a matter of fact, that there's this article that I put in here where it talks about Spotify ex-employee says no protections exist against AI bans like Velvet Sundown going viral. Like, and he breaks the whole thing down, talking about why there isn't any protection and why it's probably in best interest for Spotify to continue to push AI generated bands in music.
I think we got to be careful because the other side of this is that I don't want us as artists and independent creators to get this thing in our mind where it's like, because it's inevitable. I said this last week.
It's inevitable.
So stop being mad. Just do your thing. Like, stop. It's going to be more AI people. There's going to be people who are not musically inclined but know how to work an algorithm. They know how to work AI, and they're going to make bands that probably out-rap your favorite rapper with a unique voice. It's coming. Just focus on being authentic, and you know what I'm saying. Focus on you.
But that's the thing.
Artists whining and crying. Well, this ain't fair. And Timbaland, the whole thing with Timbaland, his AI artist. Okay, he's doing the AI artist, but like, he ain't gonna be the last one.
He ain't gonna be the last one. He ain't gonna be the only one.
So like, stop whining.
But the question is it fair though?
It's not fair.
Is it?
It's not about being fair.
I guess the question is stop whining about it.
Yeah, it's not fair.
Right. We know it's not fair.
It's not fair at all.
What the whining about is not going to do anything, right? I guess for me, it's more about what the constructive criticism part of it. I do believe in voicing your opinion about things.
Fight for the labels. Put a label on it. Let us know.
Yeah. Like, go through that process, right? Go through the due diligence of ensuring that AI artists and bands, because they're going to be there, but there's a label on it. Like, you go to the store, you see that it contains bioengineered ingredients. Put that on it. That way I know, do I want to buy this or not?
And you talk about hip hop in the media, our job is to highlight what's going on. So
that's right.
Hey, that's AI. Hey y'all, here's this new rap group that's real people. Let's highlight them. Bring them on for an interview. Give them publicity. Fight out, but the complaining stuff, stop it, man.
Yeah, because I would agree the complaining stuff doesn't actually really accomplish anything.
Fight the right way. Highlight the real hip hop. Highlight the stuff that's fake. Fight for labels. Keep our eye on it. Report on the latest developments. But we got to keep moving forward. All these pity parties.
Write your congressman. Be a part of legislation. Be a part of Music Cares. right? Be a part of all these different organizations.
Pity parties, man, and sitting there like.
But not just pity party though. Woe is me. Yeah, we get it. It's not fair. It is here. You got to figure out how you can work in the means of it.
You know what I'm saying?
Right? You got to figure out how you can work within the means of it. And I mean, because the reality is, while you're in that studio and it's taking you 6 months to make an album, in 6 days,
they do it
in 6 hours.
In
6 hours, they got a whole album.
Yeah, and it's crazy, but we're gonna sit here. We're gonna fight it. We're gonna fight to make sure you know that. And if that's your jam, I'm just having a thought about, because it is dangerous when you think about cultural appropriation too.
Yeah,
you add that to AI too.
Yes.
Ooh wee, bruh, it's very dangerous. But at the same time though, that's why.
But
we in the culture have to get our stuff together. You know, one thing we can do is weed out these culture vulture media, right? Weed that out.
Man, but you got a lot of media to weed out then.
Well, the thing, again,
I'm being out of weeding out.
I'm being facetious when I say that, because
I know
you can't weed them out if the people consume it. If that's what they want, the people have to change,
and we continue to support them.
The folks got to change. They got to say, you know what, I don't want to listen to that crap. Yeah, Krishan Rock and Blueface and all this, but I don't want to hear about that.
Man, look, I'm not gonna call him out. Right, it's one of my homies. So because he's probably gonna watch this episode, I'm not gonna call you out, but I am gonna talk about it. So I had did you see that the text I sent about the logos? Did you see that? About the look at you. You check. I need your opinion about which logo to go with for this thing that I want to propose that we do. But anyway,
I think I might have saw it. You said it a while ago.
Yeah. It's like 5 logos that are in there. And so a friend of mine, I ain't putting him on blast like that because I ain't calling his name out, but he sent it back saying that he chose this as the logo, but in the screenshot was a screenshot of the Joe Budden podcast, right? And I was like, "Oh, you watching the Joe Budden podcast?" And I was like, "I ain't afraid to look. Trust me, I'm gonna ask." I said, "So yeah, have you watched the Indie Unplug?" Right? I'm gonna ask you, right? He was like, I'm only watching the Joe Budden podcast because of the Clips interview. And I said, I understand that. He said, yeah, but I've checked out your podcast. He said, but I'm watching it because of the Clips interview. I said, yeah, I get it. I say, I can't interview the Clips yet. We ain't at that level yet to be interviewing people, but maybe we could. I never say never, in that sense. But that's the thing, is that we got to we're feeding these other platforms because they are bringing in things that interest us. Even though they may be talking about, here's that word, salacious, culture vulture type things, and they're not talking about anything that's really edifying or educational or impactful or that influences you to do something great in any way. It's just a lot of chat about stuff that really ain't doing nothing. But I was like, I see you watching Joe Budden. You watching this pod? You watching my podcast? Like, what's going on? I did. I did. I was like, but once again, we're friends and we could do that with one another. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to ask you. But I do think it's important to support. I mean, that's support, not just your independence, right? Or your homies. Support independence. If you want change from these culture vulture-ish platforms, you got to stop supporting them. Even if they bring on the guest of guests.
Right.
You got to stop supporting them.
Or at the very least, don't support when they do the
culture vulture thing. But that's like every day. Every episode.
Well, like I said before, man, if we're going to boycott culture vultures, we're going to boycott 90% of hip hop media. 90% of it going to get boycotted.
Yep.
If you really, so for me, instead of going that extreme, I just kind of like pick and choose or what I consume, what I don't consume,
And you got to pick and choose what you consume and what you don't consume. I'm always looking for things that either motivate me, build me up in some type of way, give me some type of information that I can actually use and execute on, versus just, oh, they talking about Like, hopefully we gave you some information to think about when, like we talked about the whole SZA versus Nicki Minaj thing. We ain't talking about it just to talk about Nicki Minaj and SZA, right? But we're talking about it so that you can think about how you approach situations where you may have angst against other people and how that may ultimately impact your own music career from an independent perspective. We're just using that as an example because it's well known. Y'all all know about it. But how does that directly impact you as an independent artist when you are faced with that situation and you got beef with somebody else in this space? Just things to think about.
Absolutely.
But for sure, for real.
But for real, we gotta be above this AI stuff. Don't let it get to you.
Yeah.
Stay focused. Keep doing your music. You know what I'm saying? Promote it, and as media, cover the real. You know what I'm saying? And highlight the fake so that we know what it is.
That's right.
And make sure that they put labels on it. But that's wild though. It's wild, and more is coming.
More is
coming. So just stay on your square, man.
More is coming, and hopefully other platforms. Deezer, YouTube, which was of course one of the topics, but they're going to start cracking down on a lot of that too.
I rock with Deezer. Like, I've always liked Deezer.
Yeah,
Deezer is one of them underrated music streaming platforms.
Yeah. YouTube is doing the same thing. They are already looking at. Actually, it just implemented July 15th. They're like, we gonna start cracking down on these channels that produce.
Yeah, they're not gonna pay them no more, right?
Nah,
they're not gonna pay.
Nope.
The AI.
Those they call them AI slop type of videos, right? Where you got just all the AI music with the lo-fi girl sitting up there, or any low effort videos where you post a video and it's just all B-roll, AI generated B-roll, or
the fake,
B-roll with
the
a voice.
Denzel voice.
Yeah, like a fake voice.
Say that.
Yeah, they about to get rid of all that. Y'all about to be in mad trouble if y'all produce that type of content on YouTube or even use that content in a way. I mean, you can still use it. YouTube is like, you can still use it. You just need to use it in the way that they describe using content like that from a fair use perspective. Like, if you don't know what fair use is, I did a whole video talking about fair use. Go check it out. Talking about UMG was cracking down on a lot of reaction videos. Like, even reaction videos aren't really safe anymore because
that's why I don't do them.
Yeah, they're not safe.
That's why I don't do them, because I don't want to get the strikes and all that stuff. And
I stayed away from.
And I always wonder, how do you get away with that? You literally playing the song that somebody else owns the copyright to. You know.
That's why I've always stayed away from.
And I know in some cases,
stayed away from it.
You don't monetize, but they monetize, but you still get the view. I don't know.
Well, sometimes you can get it monetized. It just depends on if you. So there are 4 pillars of fair use, right? It's all about the intent of it. It's about whether you use the heart of the actual song or not. It depends on how much of it you actually use, the amount that you actually use. So there are different pillars of fair use that if you educate, like there's a channel, I talk about this in the video. There's a dude who gets all these Michael Jackson vocals, and he will sit and play all the vocals from the beginning of the song all the way to the end. But the video is about 30 minutes long. That's because he's like, okay, let's break this down. We heard him say this. How did he do this? Let's look. And he's really teaching you because he's a vocal coach. And so he's talking about that from that perspective, but it's educational, it's entertaining, but he's just not watching or listening to it going, okay, you see how he did that? That sounds great. Yeah. Nah, they cutting out all of that stuff, bro. They are not playing when it comes to those things.
I think that's a win for original creators, right?
Yeah, that is actually a win for original creators who don't have to rely on reaction videos in order to grow their.
Now, I don't even mind reacting to stuff if I'm just gonna talk about it, but I'm not gonna play nothing though. I'm not gonna play nothing.
You gotta,
and I'm
really gotta react to it.
I'm gonna be careful about putting the album art up there.
That's why I'm always careful about putting other
images and stuff.
So I just did a video called talking about, oh man, I went on this video though, talking about the leadership crisis in the music industry. How you got all these people who are CEO and A&R.
You could have put Leo, you could put.
That's what I started to do.
You could put his faces up there.
That's what I started to do.
He probably could have got away with it though.
I started to put, you named the exact people that I was about to put up there. I had Diddy, I had Leo Cohen, I had a couple other people too that were in this executive space that called themselves an executive or a CEO, but I was really talking about independents who slap on these, oh, I just started a company because I started an LLC and now I'm the CEO of this, but I don't know how to lead nothing. Bro, I went in like, oh my gosh, y'all check that video. I went in on that video, but
let's check it out. I saw the thumbnail.
Yeah, but that's the point. I put just basic silhouettes up there, and I didn't want to put any actual real people. Y'all got to stop putting all these Kendrick and Drake when they ain't part of your video at all. You're not even.
I hate that.
You're not even talking about Kendrick and Drake in the video. You just put them up there because
those people I put don't recommend channels.
Yeah, I don't recommend those. As soon as you start putting,
that's deceit.
Yes, 100% deceit.
And culture vulture on steroids.
On steroids. I completely dislike when you put another person on your thumbnail. I hate when they have nothing to do with the video.
I hate when they talk about like Jalen Rose said something about LeBron James, and you click it and he's not even on the video at all.
Not at all. It's just this. It's just some dude talking about
LeBron James,
about LeBron James, sharing his opinion when he don't know nothing about the situation. I guess they be like, y'all know nothing about. They don't know nothing about the situation.
Wasting my time.
Wasting my time.
They got a click out of me and a view out of me because I done clicked it, thinking you're gonna.
I want to hear the LeBron James talking about this person. I don't want to hear you give a commentary.
I'm like,
on news clippings.
Don't recommend this channel.
Don't recommend this channel, man. But anyway, y'all stay fly. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do y'all thing.
Blessings, y'all.
Major blessings, y'all. Peace. Once again, Indie Unplug. Be Vaughan. Man, Brian Onrea, of course.
Smell like teen spirit, baby.
Smell like teen spirit. That's right. Break it on now.